Well, hello, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxter, on the panel tonight as the one and only Bridgeman. And I'm sorry, Ulster, big Ulster Bear. How are we doing, gentlemen?
I'm doing very well, thanks, mate. Hope you're keeping good.
Oh, can I just say a big good evening to the boys in the panel and a huge good evening to the guys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans all over the world. Happy European result. Happy European result. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
How are we doing, Ulster? Just before the show there, have you wrote down the tips about a happy relationship from...
Oh, why?
The Bridge was given out, yes.
All you need to do is make the tea for the woman at 10 to 9. And you know what? That's the secret. That's the secret out of the bag, guys. Make the woman their tea or coffee, whatever she likes, at 10 to 9, and then you're at peace for 2 hours to listen or be involved in the show.
She loved that one. She loved it.
She'll batter you later, Bridge.
Well, of course, the blood will be dripping, that's for sure.
Yes. It's not a fair contest, really, is it?
You know what it's like? She's rough, she's a Partick, so what can I say?
Ooh.
Yeah, I will take the fifth on that one, Bridge, if that's all.
Wise move.
Anyway, we're going to look back at last night's game. We heard you briefly, Bridgeman. Maybe you would take me to reflect. Big Ulster thoughts now that he's watched it again. And then we'll hear for the punters out there who want to come and join us at 0141 356 1972 or join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online. But before we start talking about the game, a couple of wee shout-outs. One to Loudrup, who's in the lobby, always posting good stuff in the lobby. Good to see you back, Loudrup. I've just picked up you were in hospital for 2 weeks. So regards for everybody here at Rangers Radio, and I hope you're feeling well. And unfortunately, the bad news today about the young boy, and he is a young boy, 45 years of age, David Hagan, who played for us in the early to mid-90s. That motor neurons disease, such a young man and such a bad illness. So our thoughts and prayers go to David Hagan and all his family and friends. Tragic, Bridger.
Feedback, I'm hearing feedback.
No, well,
yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. It's very tragic, very tragic. And obviously, I reiterate what you're saying.
Terrible news, Ulster. Such a young man and such a horrible illness, sir.
Yeah, it is. We've seen the full effects of it already. What that disease can do, it's not pretty. Unfortunately, it's something that you just go gradually downhill. A lot of pain and a lot of suffering, and it's something I wouldn't wish on anybody, to be honest. And it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate for the guy and for his family. They're going to have as many months or years it takes, of pain and heartache, and it's also with everybody who's going through it. I just hope they have the strength to get through it.
I can hear the show in the background, Oxter.
Well, if you go to running, mate, must be you that's good at running, mate.
No me.
No, right, I can't myself now.
No, I'm fine, man. So we're going to start talking about the game. Now we've got time to reflect. 2-0. Maybe we're looking for more goals. I thought the first half performance was maybe 6.5 out of 10. But if I'm being honest, I thought the second half performance was maybe 4.5 out of 10. I thought particularly the first half of the second half we were very poor. But new team, new players, very early in the season. There's a lot of reasons for that, but we're only taking that 90 minutes. We're being subjective in that 90 minutes. Thoughts, Bridgeman?
Yeah, I said last night, I don't want to be over hypercritical on this. It was a marvellous result for us. First result, really good result we've had for a long time, even at Ibrox, since 2008 or something like that. So we won 2-0. There are a number of players on there that I'm quite suspicious of, and most of us would be. As I said last night, there's a few of them that are quite questionable. That our managers should be able to A, sort them out if necessary, or B, ship them out, one of the two. So as far as I'm concerned, one player in particular is that everybody appears to be moaning about is Mr. Windass. He had maybe 4 or 5 clear-cut chances at goal last night and failed, and the next one would be Morelos. So So I would wish that these two players would have a right good look at themselves, because their performance is poor, has been poor in front of goal, and their attitude towards the game, or particularly Morelos' attitude towards the game, is quite poor. Because last night, he actually stuck a nut in somebody. I don't care what MD says, he stuck a nut in a guy. And as far as I'm concerned, that is out of the question for Europe, because he could end up getting the club banned, never mind anything else, if he continues like that. So please get that sorted. I mean, the game itself, very pleased with the result.
He moved his heat upwards, Bridge. I mean, we've had the pleasure of being involved in a few heat buttons, and I would say that...
Absolutely.
But you've left yourself where the referee's got a decision to make, and if you get a referee, it's a stickler, and maybe away from home or in a fiery tie, you're leaving yourself open to a potential red card. Pretty childish, inexperienced, and I'm sure that the manager will speak to him, Ulster.
Yeah, I'm sure he will, but unfortunately, it's something we've seen with Morales a few times. He gets himself involved sometimes. Silly incidents like that, and he's run this. There's a few times he's been on a yellow, and I thought, and he still goes in, sometimes after he has the yellow card in games, and he just needs to try. I know it's hard to take that out of you. If that's in you, that's in you. We've seen like the Suarez, these high-profile players. If you've got that sort of instinct, then you to go and do daft decisions. Sometimes it's hard to get it out of your game, but I think it's something that Gerrard and the team will be looking at, and they're going to have to try and take that out of his game, because he's an easy target in the high-profile games to wind up, but unfortunately he's always taking the bait and getting caught and getting reeled in. So I think that's something we're going to have to try our best to take out of his game.
Yeah, but I think it's important that we're fair in our criticism, Bridge, and we don't go to the top. I accept it. Morelos didn't have a good game and won this. Made some decent runs, got himself in good positions, but missed a couple of good chances. But I think we've got to curb our criticism because of where we are and what have they played. 60 minutes against Bury, a bounce game against TSM, and that's a game. So traditionally we're still in pre-season. I know the opposition wasn't great, but we've got to curb our criticism, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why I said that I'm not on here to criticise, and I certainly wouldn't, but this particular time, I thought overall the 90 minutes, I thought we were the better team. I thought that the opposition, Scoopy, had the best player on the park by a long way, which was their left back. I thought he was absolutely excellent last night against us. So on the play, I thought they had the best player, but we were a better team overall, and I thought we thoroughly deserved a 2-0, possibly even a 3-0 victory last night. I thought their goalkeeper brought off some marvellous saves. So anybody in the world who listens to Scottish football must realise that team were no fools, no mugs. They actually didn't cause us too many problems, but at the same time, they could play football. And they played the ball out for the back wonderfully well. So I thought, hats off to Rangers. I thought our defence was our best functioning area in the park, particularly two centre-backs. I thought they played very well. I thought John Flanagan had another great game for me, great game. Murphy obviously scored the goal. Tavernier got man of the match. Doubt very much if he was a real man of the match. But I thought the young lad that came on for the last, 10-15 minutes, young Middleton, to me, he was the man of the match, to be honest. He
excited the crowd. Well, I don't think there was any... what disappointed me, Ulster, was that when it got to half-time, I thought, we'll get a second goal and we'll go on and win 4 or 5, because we were making chance after chance. And then for 20 minutes, we fell out the game, and that really disappointed me. That was the big gripe that I had.
Yeah, I agree with you. There was times where, I have to say it, in the 20 minutes in the second half, like yourself, I was thinking, this team could get a goal here, It was a real, at that point in the game, and I was wondering where we're going to start getting the engines going again, and Ibrox had went flat, the supporter at the time, and just, sort of just watched maybe a bit of nervousness creep into the support, and then lucky enough we made a few changes. Glenn Middleton, I think straight away, he wasn't even on the pitch 2 or 3 minutes, and he excited the crowd again, and got the game buzzing, and obviously the young fellow on loan from Liverpool as well. It was a wee bit slow your first few minutes to start, but then as he grew into the game as well, confidence, made a couple of nice moves with Glenn Middleton. So, and then that sort of brought us home, and then obviously we got the penalty at the end. But all in all, it wasn't the best performance. But as you say, after the game, maybe first reaction it can be different. But looking at it, I've looked at the highlights and all the game on Rangers TV, and there was good chances there to finish the game or maybe get the 2 or 3, but at least we created them and we looked pretty solid in defence. So all in all, for the first competitive game and maybe only our third game in all, with PNS included as Bury, I think we've done okay. 2-0, I'll take that going into the next round.
Yeah, and Matt, I thought my best player, and I'm not saying he was fantastic last night, was Connor Goldstenbridge. He showed his pace at times, and there's a bit of potential there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. Anybody along the defensive line, including Flanagan, you could say had a really good game, to be perfectly honest with you. I thought Flanagan was exceptional last night, to be honest, just in my opinion. But you're right, Connor Goldson, from a defensive perspective, he was just... Every ball seemed to come through him in the first half. Excellent stuff. The young lad, Katic, the other centre-back, he's still a bit rash at the moment. He'll get caught out in a couple of times, but really and truly, going across to there, based on last night's performance, I've got no problem at all with our defence. But I hope the manager comes out with a defence, an actual defence, not just those two guys. So obviously a bit of tactics going to come into it, and we obviously don't want to lose anything. But really and truly, you're right. I agree with you. Connor Goldson looks to be a really good player for us, and Katic as well. Once he settles down, you saw a couple of fouls getting given away by him. May I say, forgive me for going on about this, there was a couple of times where more than one player was going for the same ball, right? And there was one time there was actually 3 Rangers players going for the same ball. So, and that was one of them was Mr. Katic. In fact, in more than one occasion, he was going for the ball when a midfielder was going for it. So all of these wee silly things that go on during the game, which you accept, they have to be sorted.
Is that a new team with the communications just building and people? Yeah, it comes with as you play together, you know. Anyway, Bridge, if people want to join us, what's the number?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Where else can you join us, Ulster?
At RangersRadio.online, and the wee Skype button's there for you, and if you hit it, Fox will get you sorted.
Yeah. What's your concerns, Bridge? Because obviously every game we look at, we critique when we think about where we are, where we're going to go, who's good, who's bad. But what's your concerns? You said you fancy defence. Again, Alan McGregor had nothing to do, so we can't judge him yet. So you're saying midfield and forward. So what's your concerns?
Well,
the forward scoring the goals or the midfield creating the chances?
Can I just say then to all the Rangers fans that are listening in, anywhere, I'm not being funny, we have got a big hole in our defence, which is the right back area. I don't care what anyone says, and I'm a big fan of Tavernier going forward, but seriously, that's our weak point. That's our weak point. His distribution as well. One of the big problems is when Mr. Tavernier is up there, or whomever he gives the ball to is up there and gives the ball away, there's the hole. So fortunately, we have got our boy Connor Goldson, who's playing very well and managed to cover most of it. But seriously, there's a big problem. A big problem. I'm not saying it's the big problem, but a big problem. So I would worry more about the big hole at right back when we're defending. It's things that all of us who support the Rangers have said for the last season, maybe even more. He's great going forward, but we need to be able to do better at defence. So there you are. That, to me, that's it. I thought the left back, or the left guy on the left-hand side, Mr. Flanagan, for a non-left footer, right, I thought he played exceptionally well. I was very, very happy with him last night. And the 2 centre-backs, of course. So I think I can't say any more than that. I hope they get the boy Jake Cooper in and we convert that to a 3-5-2, which will give Mr. Tavernier the choice to go forward, provided the manager wants it, and move into a more midfield type role or wing back type role, because a liability is the no pace there. You look at that the boy at the left back for them last night. To me, they're fabulous. I don't know what you guys thought. You can maybe tell me I'm wrong. But I thought he did a fabulous game against us. Fabulous game, and a lot of that was down to Mr. Tavernier going up the park and no coming back.
Ulster?
My more concerns is actually scoring goals for me. I was watching the highlights again, and there was some chances there. I enjoyed the way we look more dangerous from free kicks as well. when we were crossing the balls in. Big makes a big carriage as well from one of the corners, got his head onto one and looped it in. So we've got people there, I think, who can head a ball and can be dangerous for us. But I still think we're missing a striker. That would worry me getting into next season if we don't get a striker sorted. Definitely, I think so, and I think we need a better centre attack midfielder as well. And I think
I've got across you also. We've got a caller coming. I'll come right back to you.
All right, yep, go ahead, mate.
Yep. Evening, caller.
Good evening, fellow trombone lovers.
How we doing, Skipper? All China.
Skipper, you dancer.
I'm glad Big Ulster's there because I want a wee word with him.
What have I done now?
Well, I was watching your band last week and I watched again on TV yesterday. Now, you're excellent. Your drill and your playing's excellent, but you're just missing that one thing, a trombone player.
We'll get you over next year then.
Oh yeah, I was going to say to you, get that sorted at the next band meeting and I'll send you over my measurements for my uniform.
No problem. More than welcome, mate.
And a wee bit more practice with this trombone and we'll be all set.
We'll be fully complete.
It's amazing you can pick up on YouTube and eBay now, isn't it, Skipper?
Oh, only cost me a £5.
Brilliant, mate, brilliant. Have you let Fox know you've got a trombone? Because I'm not allowed to really mention it.
Well, Fox and I had a lot of discussion in Senior Square last night and I can't reveal anything that was discussed.
All right, okay.
There's only one thing I can say about Senior Square right enough, and I don't know if the two things are connected in any way. I understand he wasn't at the match.
I'll leave.
Earlier in the evening, it's around about 6 o'clock, a young lady smiled at him in Senior Square. I don't know if they're connected in any way.
Well, put it this way, if she smelled him at 6 o'clock, he'd been back on the subway for 5 past, mate.
Oh, that's cruel.
You know. But what's your thinking on the Bears, mate? I can't get where you getting a trombone, mate. What's your thinking on the Bears and what did you think of last night's performance, mate?
Much the same as everybody else. It wasn't brilliant, but then Fox will tell you that was one of the things we did talk about before the game was we weren't expecting. You know, I thought if you think Brazil 1970 is going to turn up, you're talking through a hole in your head. You know, this will take time and we'll get there. I'm quite happy with the result. I'm glad we didn't lose an away goal to them. And I really don't have any fears. I heard Bridgman saying it. I don't have any fears for the return leg.
Oh, no, mate. I think we'll. In fact, in some respects, it might help us because another competitive game might be worth a lot for us to get more sharpness there, mate, if that makes sense, rather than if we'd have won 5-0.
Well, I think if you'd have won 5-0, folk would have said the same as you did after Bury and went, you weren't going them day.
Aye, that's true, mate. Aye, it's all about getting fitness and sharpness. That's the first 90 minutes that most of the players have played, you know, last night. I know they're not going to win the Europa Cup, but we've got a new team. We've got to be sensible of where we are, mate.
Yes.
You know, is it a brass trombone, mate?
Yes. You know, in fact, I don't know what I'm going. I think I'm going to have to invest in a pair of sunglasses because it's always gleaming.
Well, have you been polishing it?
Oh, it's always on. Every hour on the hour.
All right, okay, mate.
Well done, Skip. Oh, brilliant.
Have you recovered from meeting the choir boys you were there last Saturday afternoon?
Oh, yes. Well, that was another experience, but I thoroughly, last weekend was a fantastic weekend. You know, I kept saying if Carlsberg done weekends, you know, up to Ibrox on the Friday night and then Paisley Road West on the Saturday for the parade.
Good day with a good laugh, huh?
And good company, you know.
Most of the time.
Well, I didn't go back to Partick.
You should have done. That's when the fun and games started.
That's why I didn't go.
But let's just say there was no trombones involved.
can I interrupt and just ask you guys a question, and everybody else, and particularly boys in the lobby? Did anybody who was at the game or watched the game, did you actually think that Rangers were 100% fit? Because I started to see what I thought anyway. We started to run out of legs halfway through the second half. That's what I thought. Don't know if I'm seeing things or whatever, but it looked to me.
I think it was the second half of the second half we come back into the game, Bridget.
That's correct. Well, I don't know so much. I thought that during that time when they were really, really good, we had run about and we did absolutely nothing. And you look at our team, and what ended up happening was we got the ball up the park a wee bit, and we had maybe 2 players up there, and the rest of the midfield and the defence were all back at the halfway line or near enough it. And that tells me people were running out of legs somewhere around about the hour, just after the hour mark. And that's what I think anyway. So I hope the guys tell us what they think, because I was saying to the boy next to me, where's the legs? Where's our midfield? And young McCrory was the only one that appeared, was the only one that was actually putting himself about in the second half, late on in the second half, should I say.
For me, that combination doesn't work. McCrory, Arfield and Candias. I don't think Candias is, if you like, an inside man skipper.
No. And you're more or less trapping down another man then. Your midfield's weak.
I think the square peg in the round hole is Mr. Windass, to be perfectly honest with you.
He just frustrates the hell out of me.
I think we're going to watch him. We don't blame him for everything. You know what I mean? The second half of the first half of the second half was a poor team performance. It wasn't just Josh Windass; it was the whole team. I'm not the greatest fan of Windass, but I think we've got to be careful, Big Ulster, that we don't blame him for everything.
Well, this is it. I agree with that. It's not as if you'd have took him out of the team yesterday and everything would have been completely different. I'm sure it probably wouldn't have. But I just think he gets the stick at times, Ox, because he falls out of games sometimes, and we've seen that. And I think he's also getting it because it was the same old arguments last season. Wherever the newer players will get a by ball, or Windass probably won't, because he's already, there's been that issue with him before, and we were hoping for better, But he is getting a lot of stick. But he isn't the only one. To blame. But I just think, going forward, the only thing is, you were asking me just before Skipper had come in, I just believe, going into the start of the season proper, first league game, I'd like us to definitely have another striking option and a centre attack midfielder, someone who can actually walk into that team and take a first team place straight away. I think that would help us a lot.
Well, we've got a striker signed in loan, and we've got another defensive midfielder come in, so that's competition for places in some parts of the field, Skipper, that we've not seen them to judge yet, mate. Well,
the vast majority of the team, we've not seen enough of them, I don't think. But just finally on Windass, I see a lot of comments on the website today of boys that were actually at the match last night and were giving them stick, and they're saying that when they watched the game on Rangers TV today, he had a better game than they thought it. But my frustration with him is the missed chance. The header for about 6 or 7 yards last night.
He's got to hit the target, mate. He's got to hit the target, mate.
Aye. And it's a free header, there's nobody near him.
I think Mr. Windass, as I said last night, Skip, I think Mr. Windass and Mr. Morelos really do have to look at themselves in the mirror, because if you add the two together, in all probability, 4, 5, maybe even 6 fantastic chances they had. I'm not saying they were all sitters, but there was a couple of them sitters, and really and truly sitters, and unfortunately for them, mostly headers, but really and truly. Watching it last night is quite heartbreaking, because, in my opinion anyway, we should have won that game 4-5 easily last night.
I think we're going to watch Bridge, but don't go overboard, and I mean that because we won the game 2-0. We've got 3 new players in defence. All right, McGregor's come back. We've got Arfield, who got a knock and maybe try to play when we should go off. We've got a young boy learning his trade, McCrory. We've got Candias, square peg in the crown hole, and then we'll get the 3 forwards who we know have got flaws in their game. Murphy does some brilliant things. He looks just makes you wonder sometimes, and then sometimes he can fall at the game. But that's what skillful wingers do traditionally. Windass nobody really knows his best position yet. We've thought number 10 through the middle or whatever. But anyway, just we've been joined by Fox. How we doing, Fox?
Good evening.
How is one?
Aye, all right.
Aye, Foxy.
I feel as though listening to this and reading the forums that we get beat last night, and the people that's getting picked out, Taverner was the best man, or Tav was the best man in the park last night. And as for the wee left back, a Shrupke or whatever they call him, he had a decent wee game, but Taverner created chances all over the place in the first half. And the first goal came from Windass tracking back, taking the ball off of the left winger, Tav moving it forward for our own 18-yard box, and ending up in their 18-yard box and slips a ball through to Murphy to score. Apart from that, he put in some tremendous balls into the box last night. I thought he had a really good game, Tav, last night. I think people are awful critical of him all the time. He's not the only player that gets caught out positionally for me. And when I watched the Bury game quite closely, and we move across the park depending on which side the ball's at, and both full-backs come to the inside. It was a ball over the top of them that allowed them their chance to hit the bar. He wasn't out of position, he was where he was supposed to be. And as for Windass, I thought he didn't have a bad game at all. I don't know why people are ripping into him all the time. He worked very hard last night. People say he missed easy chances. He was there to get in the end of the chances. And as you rightfully say, Docs, these guys have played 120 minutes or something together. Give them a chance, for God's sake, and stop being so critical of our team. I've said all along it'll take about 10 games till we get into our stride. And up until then, if we're winning games 2-0, I'll be more than happy.
Skipper, any kind words for Fox, or any demonstrations of musical instruments, or have you put it away?
Oh no, I mean, I was going to give you a wee blast before I go.
All right, okay.
Yeah, just get it all set up for you.
Is it quite easy once you get into it, Skipper?
Oh, once you get into it, it's a doddle. It's
okay.
The knacks and the wrist.
All right, it's not the first thing you've done. That's the knack, is it?
Yeah, what do you think?
That's pretty good, but if you're going to learn, pretty good, mate, for a beginner. But what I'm going to ask you, if you're going to learn a tune just for Fox, can you learn Memories?
Oh dear, I don't even want to ask why that would be.
Well, I think that if you played that and on the trombone, it would bring back memories for Fox.
But memories of what?
I can't say, mate. You know I can't say.
You could send the man into a downer, and I wouldn't be responsible for that. I get blamed for enough things on here.
I'm
Never
sure the
send me into a downer, mate. I'm always happy.
I'm sure the memories when they sent them into a downer, mate. Anyway, Bridge, you want to come back in, mate? Your thoughts on Mr. Tavernier, our club captain now? Have we lost Bridge?
No, I'm here, pal. I wasn't sure who you were asking. Tavernier, well, I know, I love Tavernier. I think he goes forward great. In the first season with us, he scored a lot of goals, great free kicks, and it's got gradually the pressure maybe getting to him. From a purely defensive perspective, nothing else, I think there's a big hole in our team. And every single game you watch him, he goes up the park. If somebody loses the ball, Tavernier can't get back. He doesn't appear to be able to get back. But overall, no complaints about him. He does it, but that's the way it goes. That's who we've got in the team. I would prefer somewhere along the line, if we're going to continue with a 4 at the back, I think that Tavernier should maybe move up one, and we should get a right back, possibly Flanagan, move him across. I think he's been a tremendous buy for us, and bring in somebody at left back, if indeed if it's not going to be the young boy Declan John, someone else, Lee Wallace, if need be. But that's all I'm saying. If we're going to be defensive come a week or next Tuesday, if we're going to be defensive, I don't know if Tavernier can play defensive. It's a question. Maybe the forum and anybody else interested should maybe think about this. Can Tavernier play defensively against that team? Because that team aren't a bad team. That's all I'm trying to say. Don't underestimate them. I think they're a good team. They're an ex-Yugoslavian enclave in Macedonia. So the Yugoslavs were always good players, always good teams, good country from a footballing perspective. And they're part of it, or they were part of it. So they're good teams. Croatia's another part there in the World Cup final. So we have to believe what we're seeing. And what we saw last night is really and truly, we who were defensively very good last night, and particularly in the place where we were poor the season before, we've strengthened that up. We need to strengthen up the fullbacks area. That's what I'm saying.
Do you think other people in the team should take the responsibility when Tav goes up the park, mate? He's one of our most dangerous threats. And what was McCrory there for? He was supposed to sit back when the fullbacks came forward. Other people in the team need to take responsibility of covering. Candias used to do it quite a lot last season, but where he was playing last night was an absolute misfit for me.
Correct.
I don't know. I think he's only keeping the position warm to one of this new boy, probably Kubali, gets fit enough to play. But I don't know why people keep going on about Tav as a defender.
I hate to interrupt you, Foxy. You know I wouldn't do this, but really and truly, the pairing of Tavernier and Candias last season and this season, or whenever he joined, has been very successful. They've been very good with each other, playing against teams, and that's a great combination. I think they're a great combination going forward. But what's happened is they've moved Tavernier to a different position altogether, and you're left with this mixture of Mr. Windass.
You mean Candias? You mean Candias?
Candias, sorry. No, but I'm saying Tavernier, Windass, and Candias. So you end up with these three trying to play in the same area, and I don't think it works. So you end up mix-ups. You saw it last night. You saw the times that the ball went out the park and the ball didn't reach a guy, and a lot of that came from all three of them. It just didn't work. And they took Candias off, and I'll tell you now, and I'm not being funny, if they had taken Windass off instead of Tavernier, the people would have, the Bears anyway, would have been a lot happier, because they were really upset about Windass. Windass didn't appear to play where he should have been, where he thought he should have been playing, but unfortunately that's probably where he was picked to play, right? So that's the way people think about it. Sorry,
anyway,
guys,
we've been joined by Ibrox Loyal. Evening, Ibrox.
All right, Trips, how's it going?
All right, mate.
Doing well, mate, doing well.
What's on your mind?
Well, just obviously I heard about Tavernier not getting mentioned. I think we're maybe being a wee bit too overcritical of Tavernier. Having looked back in the highlights last night, mate, he's no as bad, but he never the greatest game in the world. For me, as you says last night, probably if anybody was to get man of the match, and I know it's hard to give a centre-back man of the match, because he obviously never too much to date. I would have probably given it to Goldson as well, for the sheer fact that he managed to show that he's got the pace, he's got the decisiveness, he'll be one of your main centre-halves this season. I know he'll get tested, our whole centre-back pair will get tested whilst looking up against stronger teams, but it was hard to get a man of the match for me last night, but if anybody was to get it for me, I'd probably give it to Goldson. And just want to heap a wee bit more praise on the boy Middleton, mate. As I've seen in social media for last night and today has been polls saying that he should definitely be starting next week over there. I know, Ox, you were saying the last couple of nights you don't want to overburden the young man, but I think by listening to his interview earlier on as well, that he speaks well, and he says that no matter if the team are behind or the team are needing a goal, he'll still be doing everything. He believes in his own abilities, and I think for that alone, we've had young people on my team before, and the likes of your Barry McKays and everything else, but this wee boy is a lot got a lot more class in them than I think the Kaina ever had. And
we've got to watch. We've got to put it in perspective, Ibrox, and I hope the boy becomes a world star. And I wish him all the luck, mate. He's come on the last 20 minutes or something against Bury with the team were tired. He's come on last night against a team who were tired. Done really, really well. But we'll need to watch when we see him, and hopefully his performances get him more minutes of the part and eventually gets a start because he's doing right. But we've got to slow down and make sure we don't make the boy out, because what will happen is if we get it right with the boy, quite easily people either turn on him or he'll be discarded. He's doing well. And he deserves all the praise he's getting, but he's no Messi at the moment. We've been joined, I think it's a global ambassador. Evening, Mr. Global Ambassador.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
No, how is one?
One is spiffing, yeah.
Smashing, mate. How's things, mate?
Everything's good here, man. Everything's good.
Family?
They're all chatting a bit, man. They're all good. In-laws are over from New Zealand, so that's good as well. Dinner's on the table every night I go home, so
brilliant,
everyone's fine. Everyone's rosy in the garden. Aye. Anyway, back to the thing as the mighty Glasgow Rangers. Windass, Morelos. Somebody passed comment there. They've only played 120 minutes. I disagree with that totally. They played the whole season together. I think they're starting off this season like they finished last season. They're good players, but maybe they're just not going to be good players at Rangers, if that makes sense. I really worry up front. We brought in a striker that hasn't scored goals. I heard even our manager, Mr. Gerrard, saying he's got potential. I don't think, personally, we're in a position for potential. We need to win the league this year. As simple as that. I was hearing on the BBC when I was driving to work this morning, this Solanke, he's quite strong links. He's certainly a young guy. He's a step up for what we've got. I think he'll score goals as Danny Ings, even a Jermaine Defoe. I think I worry somewhat with Mr. Gerrard's decisions. I don't think the will will be pulled over his eyes. He'll only give Morelos and Mr. Windass so many chances. I don't think he'll drag them out for the whole season. No scoring goals or not playing well, or the players getting booed when they come off the park, or people cheering that the players are coming off the park in regards to Windass. But I think we have to sign players that have got a wee bit of credibility about them. I'm not keen on this loan thing. I'm not keen on it at all. I don't know whether it's a fiscal situation that we're in that, but I think we've got to maybe break the bank, and we need to get a striker in that's going to score goals. Somebody with a wee bit of cojones. The ball gets put in the middle of the box and he puts in the back of the net.
I get the striker bit, but the chicken and the egg. We need creativity to make the chances for the striker.
Oh well, if you would let me finish it before you rudely interrupted me.
That's my job.
What was going to cut? Aye, that's what was going to come on to next. We definitely need somebody in the middle of the park. Now I watched a couple of highlights the other night. There were a couple of interviews and that. Do you think Charlie Adams would be that type of man? I don't know if any seen him talking on BT Sport and that. Do you think he would be that man in the middle of the park? Do you think you'd get all the games out of him? So that's only my worry. Is he creative enough in the middle of the park? I think he might be in Scotland to help the strikers. This big guy we've got for Roma, he's meant to run onto a ball, but he can't take a player on type of thing. So we need somebody putting the decent balls in. I think the midfield will be stifled a bit with what we have there. There's nobody, as you say, with that creativity, with that wee bit of vision. So certainly we need a midfielder. Is there any word on the street of what midfielder might come in with that kind of creativity? Is there any word that you see about getting another striker in?
Strikers, basically all rumours, mate. The only player that we've been linked with at the moment seems to be the boy Cooper with Millwall, and rumours. Again, pure speculation that deals fell through because that deals fell through due to Millwall were looking for their money and Rangers have walked away. Now that's pure rumours, Al. I don't know if it's true. Now the manager says we're constantly looking, but I think one of the issues is and I'll take this to Fox next, is that we need to get rid of players, I think, before we start bringing more in. We've got potentially Halliday, Hodgson, Herrera, Cardozo, potentially maybe even Lee Wallace, who all are on decent screw, and if they leave, obviously it frees up a lot of wages to make the manager get his own players in. Fox, then Bridge.
Well, I think most of the teams in the world, mate, are looking for a striker that puts the ball in the net and an attacking midfielder that creates. They're like hen's teeth, they're scarce. He's brought in the boy Ajira, who showed some wee touches last night, first time playing in the side. I would give him a wee run to see how he does. He's highly thoughty down at Liverpool. He's no like some of the other loan signings we've brought in. The boy looks as though he can fend off a tackle. He's got quick feet. I would give him a wee chance before we have to try and go into the market again. The other two that signed, we don't know what like they're going to be. And we'll just have to wait to see. But teams no complete to the end of the transfer window. There could be surprises still to come. But at the moment, we need to just give this team a wee time, a wee chance to gel. I thought in the first half last night they were actually quite good. I thought we made a load of chances. We missed the chances. But in another day, some of the header for Windass could have went in, keeper saved down low. He had another chance in the second half, got his head to the ball, put it air the bar. And another day they could have been in. But this is just the way it is.
Fox here?
Yep, aye, on you go.
Fox, I agree with you. I thought we played not too bad, but ultimately, as you've highlighted there, the ball didn't go in the back of the net, and that's what's letting us down. That may be they just need what you're saying, and you're probably correct. They wee bit of running games, but if you've got someone else there that can put the ball in the back of the net, we'd be sitting here with 1-6-0. We're gone there. We're now going over to Macedonia, 2-0. It's a win. It's a win, but I would have liked to went out there, and I think the manager said that as well. 3-4. Kai done at Ibrox. It was in front of a whole stadium. I would have liked to have seen the Kai absolutely, completely put to bed at Ibrox. Chances were created, but the chances the same as last season. That's my only worry. And look, Mr. Gerrard knows more about football than I'll ever know. But that's my only worry. One other thing, guys, because I'm at my work and I need to go. One thing I did notice at the beginning of the game, I don't know if anybody's picked up on it, when Mr. Gerrard came out the tunnel and he went over to the other bench, did you see them jumping off the seats? It was like somebody meeting the Queen. So I think that bodes well. I think he's going to get a lot of respect within Europe, as long as they have a good run in Europe and also within the Scottish League.
It's maybe the best bit of skill of the whole night.
You're saying you're a wee bit fearful at 2-0, mate. I thought technically some of their players were quite good, but I thought we overpowered them over the 90 minutes. And a 2-0 lead's our highest lead to take away from Ibrox for about 10 years, mate, in a European game. So people keep saying that.
I agree with you, Fox.
You know, I mean, I'd have been happy at 2-0, you know, before the game. I think most people would have.
Look, it's maybe the hype and that surrounded us going into these games with the train that is Mr. Gerrard. So it's that hype as well. Look, it was good to hear as well when the game that was on. It was on the radio that it was coming up with the Rangers scored Gerrard's first game, and so we've got all that. We've got all the positives. I'm not trying to be negative. I don't want us to carry on. And I don't. As I said before, I don't think the wool will be pulled over his eyes. He's got his reputation to look after as well. He's not going to linger with players that aren't doing it for him. So it all bodes well for the future. Look, guys, you just keep up a good show. I'll try and keep listening.
Cheers, big man. Cheers, big man.
No worries. Thanks very much. All the best, gentlemen. Take care.
Well, we can hear that people are disappointed with last night's, I wouldn't say maybe result, but maybe performance. But maybe, I was speaking to somebody today who said maybe that's better for us in the whole scheme of things than if we had a 1-4 or 5-0 and you maybe think you're at a place you're not at. Big Ulster?
Well, this is it. Well, it's going to take time. As I said to the boys yesterday when we were watching the game, about 10 of us as usual, I said, look, this is the weak. I'm not saying it's a weak team, but I'm saying this is the weakest team that Gerrard will ever have as a Rangers manager. Because this is the first game, it's so close, after the World Cup and all. Well, the World Cup's not even over, actually, but it's near coming to an end. So from here on, we're going to strengthen again. I still think we're going to get, in my opinion, I'm still confident we'll go for another striker. I think we're definitely going to get another centre back, and I think we'll definitely get that creative midfielder. I'm hoping for it anyway, and I don't think Gerard's the type, like Al says, that'll rest on his laurels. He look at what weaknesses he has. If he thinks there is any, and he, in my opinion, to be doing his best to try and sort those weaknesses out as going into the next season. And I think that's another reason we're talking obviously about Tavernier. Maybe defensively he's not the best at times. I thought Tavernier was very good yesterday, especially when you watch the highlights again. So most things we done good or chances we created, he was involved in at some point, whether that was from the direct free kicks over into the box or actually we interlecting passes and winging the ball in. So there's a lot of positives. There is negatives, but there's a lot of positives as well. So I think just going to the 2-0 away from home, and I think we'll be doing okay, to be honest. And I'm sure Gerrard will get them more bodies in to strengthen our squad.
Can I come in Ox?
When you go, mate?
I'm just going to say, I agree with Ulster to a certain extent. I wanted 2-0 last night. I said that to the guys at Ibrox. I wanted 2-0. We got 2-0. But based on what I saw during the game, I thought we could have been easily 3 or 4. That's been flippant. Easily 3 or 4. And some of the players that we've got, just for some, as I said to you earlier, they need to have a good look at themselves, and the manager will probably have a good look at them as well. I'm not on here to moan and groan about the players. I thought we played at Ibrox, full house, and we played really, really well in the first half, and we lost our way a wee bit in the second half, but we pulled it back again. I disagree with the Tavernier as man of the match. I think there was 2 or 3 in front of him, and one of them was the guy that was only on for 10 or 15 minutes, was young Middleton. I thought he lit the place up completely, and he was absolutely excellent last night. Really, really good. However, you can't give somebody that's only on for 15 minutes the man of the match. So I wouldn't have given it to Tavernier, no way. It would have been Godson for me, or indeed the boy Flanagan, John Flanagan. That's the guys I would have thought of, because they actually put a really good shift in.
Where was your thought on Flanagan than Tavernier? Because going forward, Tavernier created a lot more than Flanagan did, Bridge.
No, I didn't think so. I thought Tavernier ran. Look, Tavernier's a fantastic player for us, and he plays really good at attacking. He's a really good attacking sort of, shall we say, midfielder by the look of it, and he does well.
When we played well in the first half, Bridge. I didn't think Tavernier was outstanding, but when we played well in the first half, about 70% of our attacks come down that side of the park, mate.
Absolutely, I'm under no illusion. That's exactly what happens. But 70% of our problems come from Tavernier being up the park and losing the ball, or not him losing the ball, but the ball getting lost when the right back's out of position. Put it that way. So there's a lot of that's a lot to do with that. You look at the defensive wise, insofar as Flanagan was concerned, I thought he did a fantastic game last night defensively. Superb, and he was never short of going up. He was always there for the ball coming back from the forwards. He was always in position. To me, he was always in position. I never saw him putting too many feet wrong last night. I'm not trying to go on.
I don't think he did, mate.
I'm not trying to go on to Tavernier.
I don't think Flanagan did put a foot wrong, but I don't think he done. He was in position.
I think he was better performing from a team perspective. He was better for me than Tavernier. That's my opinion. It's only my opinion.
It's all about opinions, isn't it, Ibrox Loyal?
It is indeed, mate. I don't know if you want a wee update, or maybe we'll leave this to the second talk. It's just a wee update. It's just come in. The Goof Development Squad were obviously playing over in the first match in the Czech Republic tournament.
Give the score then, mate.
They won 3-1, mate. Goals from Serge Atakai, young Stephen Kelly, and young Kai Kennedy. The boy Stephen Kelly has been getting a lot of praise for Steven Gerrard and Gary McAllister while they were over in Spain. and it's good to see him continue his good form for the halfway through the beginning of last season. The young boy Kai Kennedy had a really good game against Partick Thistle when we beat them 6-1 the other day as well, and he's obviously been took on the plane with him to Czech Republic, so he's stepping up again. He's another young man, I think 16 or 17, who's really stepping up to maybe 20s, under 21s levels, so it's good to see that continuing. And again, young Serge Atakai did really well again, ball accounts, really impressive with skills in that again. So that's the first game. There's a game tonight, a game tomorrow afternoon, and then a game on Sunday afternoon, and they'll be back home on Monday. So good start to that tournament for them. They played the team who are hosting the tournament, FC Victoria, for the Czech Republic, so good start for them over there.
Right, Fox, these young boys are getting a lot of stamps in their passport, aren't they? They're travelling the day for games.
Well, it's good experience for them. Well done on them winning 3-1. Very pleased for them. And I think the under-19s had a game at Okinawa today against Carlisle, and they beat them 2-1 as well. So the youths are doing quite well.
Was that Carlisle first team getting a bit of pre-season, or was it under-19s?
No, it was a mixture of under-19s and 20s for them as well.
All right. Fair enough. If people want to join us, Ulster, what's the number?
0141 356 1972.
Or you can join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online, where you can come in and settle this great debate between Bridge and Bridge and Fox.
Can I say another thing, Ox? I'm just catching up with some of the comments in the lobby, and the usual comments were playing nobodies. They're fourth in the Macedonian League. Do you think they're saying the same about us in Macedonia? We only finished third in the SPFL last year. We had nobody at this present time to tell any other team that they're rotten, mate. We've got a long, long way to go to get back to where we were at the start of the year 2000, mate. And people should, places like Macedonia, do you think they can find a pool of 15 players to go out there and give us a game? When they were part of the former Yugoslavia, mate, they produced some good talent. And I thought watching them last night, technically, some of them on the ball were a wee bit better than us. But we were the better team on the night.
Can I come in there, Oxy?
Best bit of skill was your manager.
Can't agree more with Fox. Absolutely right. That team, and patches during the game, they were excellent, absolutely excellent. And we were found out, and hopefully the manager and his coaching all saw this, where we were found out and why. So somewhere along the line, they're going to sort that problem and get it resolved. So simple as that. If it needs to be bringing in more attacking midfielders, then so it should be. But seriously, we were found out in patches during that game, found out big style, in my opinion.
For me, Bridge, they'd one attack in the first half, they hit the bar. That was about it. And we played all right in the first half. We were constantly going forward, made a good few chances. The problem was the start of the second half. For about 20 minutes, we totally fell out the game. Ulster, I'll come to you with that. And that was the issue. That's what got the crowd upset. Because we stopped playing and we totally fell out. Then they get two corners, I think, and one after the other. And apart from that, they never really threatened our goal because Alan McGregor hardly touched the ball. So they passed the ball about a lot across the back line and that, but they never threatened us. But we didn't get the ball, and we stopped. When we did get it back, we gave it away very sloppily for about 20 minutes. And that's what upset the crowd. You could feel it coming through. Ulster, their eyebrows.
I think at times people memories were coming back with maybe last season, start last season against Progress, the panic of, are we going to go away here maybe with just the one, or is this team going to nick one? I think was a nervousness went into the crowd and the team, but obviously saying earlier when we made a few changes that G'd everything up again, but I agree with you. I just think we run out of ideas at times for that 20 minutes. I don't know if Artfield was maybe carrying that knock a wee bit longer. Maybe he should have maybe come off a wee bit earlier. Maybe he tried to play through it. Maybe that was one of the reasons for that, But as I say, I'm trying to my best. Look at the positives, because it was only the first proper competitive game we've had. But there's no doubt, any weaknesses there are, I'm confident in the manager. He'll look at it and we'll work on it. And I know we don't like this word, learn from it, but I think we will learn from it. I think we've got a manager there and a structure in place that will work on our weaknesses. And if that means adding players in, or if that means actually getting the boys that are on the pitch to do things better than what they've done previously, I'm confident we'll work these problems out.
Ibrox Loyal.
I agree with what Ulster was saying there, but the first 20 minutes, mate, I thought we started really well. We're constantly going at them, time after time after time, but we just weren't precise enough with our touches and when we were shooting on goal. I think the one that we mentioned last night was the one where Connor Goldson went for his head, and I think you says that yourself last night to show as well. They should do it across the goal, we said, instead of trying to go for a goal. But I think with the more time we get on the park, obviously we're back here there on Tuesday. It's going to be a red hot atmosphere. It's not just the weather, but a red hot atmosphere. I've seen games being played in Macedonia and that before, so I know potentially what the crowd's going to be like. We're not going to be playing at that team's 6,000-seater stadium. It's getting moved to the National Stadium in Macedonia, so I think it's like I think it's something like 35,000-40,000 at odds. So there is going to be the biggest majority of the crowd is going to be us. I would say again, because I don't know what their fan base is like, but I think more time on the park, mate. As long as we're more precise in that with our touches and our efforts on goals, then I see it's going to end at least getting a couple of goals, mate. I don't see that it's been this slogfest that everybody else, I think, thinks we're going to get mired into. So
I think we've just got to watch, mate, that we don't get too carried away when we're negativity. We've got to be. I get it. If somebody has a bad game, Fox, we've got to say he has a bad game, but you've got to put it in context to where we are in this journey. And I don't think that starting 11 will be our favourite starting 11, say, in 10 weeks' time.
No, near they are. And that 4-3-3, which we played last night, may not be the tactic we start in the league with. Different players, a couple of different players coming in, as Bridge rightfully said, could see us go maybe 3-5-2 or something else. So I think we've just got to give it time, lads, that's all.
Yeah, agree.
But at time, is that what you think? Time, progress. He's got to pick what he thinks he's got. We've got a few injuries. Obviously, Dorrans is one of our more creative players. Rossiter. And it was good to see Ryan Jack getting a bit of time. I didn't think he was that effective last night, but he's been out for a long, long time, and he's got to get back on the pitch and get over his injury, plus he's building up his fitness as well. So, really good to see him.
I think the manager summed it up when he says satisfactorily. He didn't go overboard, knew we could have done better. Let's move on, guys. 2-0, job done, but let's move on to Tuesday and see what we can do over there.
I can't agree more, Fox. Well said.
All right, if you want to go on mute, we'll have a tune for Fox.
Oh, this is a special request for Big Ulster's missus, so don't blame me.
Well, tonight I dreamed about I made and say I'll go back to the days that I spent there as a boy, and I dreamed about those friends that I left behind there in my city, London, Derry, on the phone. Well, my mother, she writes to me quite sweetly, and she tells me all the things that are going on, and she tells me of the bombings and the shootings there in my city, Londonderry, on the phone. Lots of nights I lie upon my bed, I'm dreaming. I am dreaming of the friends that I left behind, and I dream about my sweethearts on the fountain there in my city, Londonderry, on the phone. But once more I'm coming home aboard the steamship, on the foil once more while I'm passing by the board. And I see those old walls still firmly standing there in my city, Londonderry, on the phone. That old cathedral, there's still standing, and not far away by the old memorial hall, and I see the crimson banner there still flying over my city, Londonderry, on the phone. Over my city, Londonderry, on the phone.
You enjoy that, Bridge?
That was outstanding.
You're no called Bridge.
It's no me, it's getting caught anyway, that's for sure. No, listen, Ulster, take my hat off to you, pal. You really are a big romantic. A big romantic.
Well, that's for the people of Fountain Estate. Obviously, they're getting a lot of trouble at the minute, unfortunately, not of their own making. And there's young ones there obviously going through things that their parents and grandfathers had to go through the last 6 or 7 nights. So, thoughts with everybody in there.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Go on then, Ibrox.
No, mate, it was absolutely outstanding. Great tune for a great time, a year that we're in at this moment in time. And again, thoughts of everybody in the Fountain Estate as well, mate. At this moment, this time in life, nobody should be going through that sort of stuff. So thoughts with them, and hopefully they're safe in the coming nights, mate.
Well, Bridgeman, if people want to join us, give us their thoughts on last night's game. And particularly on James Tavernier, Bridgeman. What's the number?
01413561972.
Where else can they join us? Fox, with his thoughts on, I was going to say Dean Windass, Josh Windass. What's the number?
They can call into RangersRadio.online on Skype, and I'll bring you into the call.
What are you saying, Ulster?
No, I was just saying, way hey. Way hey.
Oxter, can I come in on that? Seriously, you go, mate. I'm not getting on. It might sound as if I am, but I'm not really. I'm not getting on.
I suggest you listen back to the show tomorrow.
Yeah, seriously, I'm not getting on about the Tavernier being bad. All I'm saying is that Rangers have got a problem, and we've had a problem for a number of seasons. When Tavernier goes up the park, we don't appear to be able to fill the gap in. Now, it worked not too bad for a wee while last night, but there was sometimes it was obvious that we have got a problem in the gap that Tavernier leaves. So I would suggest that somewhere along the line our manager should be thinking, should we get a fullback or should we go 3-5-2 at the back? If we do something like that, then we need to, that filters it out, because Tavernier he's a good player going forward. He does some great things. His crosses into the box last night were tremendous, and most of the time. But the thing is, when we lost the ball, which we did a lot of the time, then most of the time was down the right, and there was nobody there. And that wee boy at the left back for them looked really good. They made him look really good. That's all I'm saying.
I think the error Tab made was once when they ultimately hit the bar, he came running out of position to get the ball. He chased the ball, and the ball was passed outside him. And three of them running. I really can't mind him. He wasn't great, mate, but I can't really mind him getting a few bad chips and passes that could have been better. But I don't think he was as bad as maybe if you watch it again, you might see it differently. Also, you're coming in there, mate.
Yeah, I get the points. Obviously, from last season, there was times that Tav was caught. I don't think he was that bad either, to be honest. But everybody has different opinions. Bridge was there, so he could maybe have watched Tav's individual game maybe more than likes himself. But I think that's why Stephen George has went for another 3 million. He's went 3 million. He's went sort of, for us anyway, he's went big money for a centre back. Now, whether we get this guy, I know there's rumours that that's broke down. I think Millwall are looking a lot more than what we are obviously willing to spend. But we've put the 3 million up anyway. So that means we're obviously wanting another centre back, and I don't think we're going to pay that kind of money for somebody to sit on the bench. So that's what would lead me to believe that they maybe think there is a weakness there, and they'll maybe put the 3 at the back, have those 3 centre defence players playing as a back 3, which lets Tavernier play more up the pitch, which a lot of us have been calling for, and using his good attributes up front, which he is good at doing, and then maybe even not have to be struggling as much to get back in the position, because there will be a 3 there, hopefully, that will be the cover for him.
You think we're going to go to a 3-5-2, Ulster?
Well, I can't see us paying £8-9 million on 3 defenders and not playing them. Just can't see it. But I could be wrong. It could be times we will play.
But we've absolutely, when you look at the bench, apart from McCrory, we've no cover at centre back, Fox.
No, not at the moment. We haven't. No. I do agree with you that he gets caught up the parks a lot, Tavernier. But other managers aren't stupid either. They know that he's a major threat for Rangers coming up the right-hand side. Now, regardless of what some of you think, mate, he hasn't got a rocket up his backside. If he's up the park, he can't get back quick. He can only get back at a certain speed. He's not suddenly going to be like flash, mate, and be in the centre 18-yard box in the opposition's half, and then within a second be back in position. It's up to others to cover for him. That's all I'm saying, and people should know that once he goes forward, somebody needs to drop back.
Look, can I just come in on this? Look, truthfully, our defence were really good last night. Their forward line never got a chance at goal except one where they hit the top of the bar, and that was it. Everything else was catered for. We looked after it. We did this and did that. We've got a bad defence, and I think that Mr. Godson, I thought he had a great game last night, and the young lad Katic should come into a really good game. I'm not dead sure whether he's going to be the finished article in the next season, but hopefully he is. But really and truly, we're far better than we were last season. Far better. So defensively, we don't really have many problems, other than when our midfield / centre backs or right backs or full backs go forward, they forget what's happening behind them, and that's the only problem I've got. So what we've got is I think Flanagan does a great job on the left. Tavernier goes forward, and we depend on him for some good crosses into the box. But when he loses the ball, or he gives the ball away, or someone else gives the ball away, when he's up front, he can't get back. It's impossible to ask anybody to run 50 yards back and win the ball. It ain't going to happen. So I thought Godson played a great game defensively, and all he needs is a bit of more help. That's all. So 3 at the back for me would do absolutely wonders. And you push for Tavernier forward, and you push whomever it is on the left, whether it be Flanagan, whether it be anyone else, push them forward, and away you go. And we should be absolutely brilliant going forward at 3-5-2.
We don't know if we get strikers yet, mate. We've got to see our new striker. Ibrox Lowell. Is there an issue with Flanagan and Murphy playing out on the left? No, I'm not saying they played badly last night. I thought Jamie started well and disappeared a wee bit in the second half, but they're both right-footed, mate. Mm-hmm. Well, in fact, I think my whole team was right-footed last night.
I think you mentioned that, aye.
But their natural instinct is to come inside. Do we need some width on the left? Is that a problem for you, or do you think it's something we can cope with?
I would like to see a bit more pace, mate, on the left-hand side. We know we've got bags and bags on the right.
No, width, no pace, because they're naturally coming in the right.
So you mean... I think we've seen that last night as well with Murphy. Did they know in the second part of the second half change out to the right? When Winders went off? Yeah. I don't know how the boys seen that, but I thought it was pretty comfortable. I know we didn't. We didn't have the greatest of second halves, mate, but it did well enough for me, mate. When Windass went off, to think that if he ever had to be changed out to that side, he brings somebody else in on the left with natural width, then it should not be a problem for us to cope with that. It's just, who do we bring in there? Or have we got somebody at our club who could come in and quite easily cover that role and give us plenty of width that we're looking for? I don't know what you think about that, whether you think you would like to see somebody else come in with width.
It's not so much it's their natural instinct, Foxes, to come in the way, yeah, because they're right-footed players.
We spoke about this last week, didn't we? About having right-footed players on the left-hand side. I think there can be a wee change about. See, at Ibrox, I would like to see Declan John at left back because he's adventurous, mate. Good pace, the boy. He can get up and whack in good crosses and all. But when we go to tough games away, like the Midden and maybe Pataudry, when you're wanting a bit of solidarity at the back, you bring me back in again. You know, there's times to defend the league and you can swap Flanagan and the young boy Declan John about, because Declan John is obviously better going forward, I think, than Flanagan's going to be, mate. That's only my opinion, right enough. And I'd like to have seen Steven Gerrard make one change. We're all on about Taverner. See, instead of putting Candias in there, he could easily have put Taverner in the middle of the three till he gets his preferred formation in the midfield, and put Flanagan at the right and Declan John on the left. I think Taverner would be even better in the midfield, mate, myself, honestly.
No, there's a thought, Ulster.
I agree 100% with Foxy. Definitely, you can see it. He loves the pass, and he knows once he does them 1-2, especially when he comes in the middle, he's so dangerous. And he's brilliant. You know, you see him opening his body. He passes the ball in. He gets round the player. He's waiting for the next pass. He can take a few players on. He has a couple of shots as well, and he's good at striking the ball. I would love to see Tavernier play in our midfield. Definitely, I would be all for that. And I think we've got the players for him to move up there, because Flanagan is a right back. He's played at the highest level, and we see Declan John. You know, I think we would all be happy to see Declan John at left back as well. I think Declan John's a very good player as well. Sometimes defensively we maybe have a few issues about him, but more often than not, he has really good games for us, and he's really dangerous up there. So if we were to go into, say, Tuesday night's game and play with the left back as Declan John, right back as Flanagan, and maybe give Tavernier a go up in the midfield, I'd be more than happy, and I think you would see him actually excel in that position.
Can I come in on that?
On you go.
I think Ulster's said what I've been thinking for quite a while. Somewhere along the line, we want someone at left back and someone at right back. So a natural left footer and a natural right footer. And I think Mr. Flanagan would fit the bill. Any position you want to play him in, he'd fit the bill. I think he's a superb player. Mr. Tavernier is a misfit as far as fullback's concerned. And I think moving him forward 10 yards, 15 yards into the midfield would be a great boon. Great boon for us. That's what I think.
Fox, have we not tried that before and James wasn't that effective?
Can I
Fox is giving up on you.
Aye, give up. On you go, Ibrox.
I think, was it not tried in one of the Old Firm games, mate? It was played there, and I think Hodgson ended up playing on it right back. I think in that game, I think it was it maybe the 1-0 game where Matt Jokes was in goals and he had the man of the match performance, if my memory serves me right.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely
we've done
right.
it.
That's
That,
exactly when it was.
I think we've tried it on other occasions, but no often. Look, it's something worth debating. But again, we've got that many midfield players on our books. I don't know if Tav would bring more than, say, Docherty playing on the right hand side. A 3 in there, you know. I don't know if he would have, but look, it's all about opinions and see where this journey that Stephen Gerrard's got us on takes us, Ulster.
Well, this is it. Yeah, I agree, mate. It's just going to take time. In my opinion, I think we're three signings away from being a finished article. You know, definitely, and competing. I think we need 3 players. Centre back definitely, because I think with 2 good players there, but we'll have to wait and see until they're challenged. But whether it's a back 3 or, as you say, it's a player in for cover, or maybe Cadix, maybe it'll be cover for whoever next comes in. We'll have to wait and see. And I think we're an attacking midfielder and a striker who can go straight into our team, away from being where we want to be honest, going into the next season. Well, this season, should I say.
Fair enough. Right, let's talk about the midfield unit then. Candace, I think we all agreed, Ibrox, that Candace, he always tries hard, but that position he doesn't look comfortable in.
No, he looks too far out his depth for that position, mate. It doesn't come natural to him. I don't think he's got the abilities to play in a 3 midfield. It actually has to be fully out and the right for him to have any effect whatsoever, because it can affect a game whether he's attacking or where he's coming back to help Tavernier should he need it. But you just can't do that same sort of role when you're playing a 3 in the middle of that park, mate. I think is it something that our manager's looking to play? If so, then I think it's going to have to be maybe a Ryan Jack, as you say, is a Greg Docherty, for that role, mate, because at this moment in time, Candias is looking too far out his depth to play there, mate. I think we've seen that in the Friday night game as well, or it being a pre-season friendly, but going forward, mate, people are just going to be moaning at him for the least wee thing as soon as a mistake happens in the position that he's in, because you know in his natural position.
Can I come in?
Fox? Is Fox back?
Not too sure.
I don't think so. I think there's some.
On you go. Just worry about having fought when it goes quiet, Bridge.
I think we saw last night. I don't know. All the guys that were there last night saw it anyway, and we never saw everything that saw on the television. But really and truly, we saw that young Candias, who was older Candias, should I say, he was played completely out of position. I think he was played as part of the midfield, and truth is should be in the right. And he played very well last season with Tavernier behind him, and they played as good as a team. As a partnership, I thought they played very well. So I would push Candias forward, and push Tavernier forward, and Candias just in front of him, and that would be me for the right side. I think Windass is the square peg in the round hole for me. Somewhere along the line, Mr. Windass.
How's that going to work, Bridge? How's that going to be your five? How's that going to be your five in midfield?
I'm saying somewhere along the line, Mr. Windass needs to be playing as part of a general team. At the present moment, to me, the only place he should play is a loyal shadow striker, because he's no use out in the right wing. He does nothing out in the right wing. He got many chances to score last night and failed miserably each time. And some of them were coming in from the right, and the others were actually when he was in position, centre forward area. But truly, I'm not being funny, he should not be part of the right wing area or the right sided area, in my opinion. He's got to be played in the middle.
How's that going to work for Candias? No Windass.
I'm not being funny. I don't really know. All I'm saying is that Candias and Tavernier have played together for last season, and they were very successful, and I think they could be very successful going forward, and somewhere along the line we may be missing a chance here. So suffice to say, for me, Candias should be playing just in front of Tavernier, and together they make a really good team. That's all I'm saying.
Here, I'm going to put something out there, and I'll take this through the panel. I think the vast majority of our players that have been there the last couple of seasons, they're fighting for their futures. They've got to deliver, and there's going to be some casualties that people don't see coming. Ulster?
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I agree with you. There's players who are especially from last season. I think with likes of Candias, I'm trying not to give him too much stick, because I think Candias is an old-fashioned winger. We've seen that last season. I think he had the most assists and most crosses, should I say, than anybody else in the league, and he is good at doing that. He belts down the line, he crosses balls in. That's his game. He was a bit like a fish out of water last night for me, but maybe that's because the backroom staff see something in him in training that they think they can mould him into that position. So, I'll wait and see. He could come on. He maybe take him a wee while, to get used to that, because he's always been a winger. He's never really, I don't think he's played much in the midfield, especially not for us. So maybe he'll come to a game. But I agree with you, mate. There's going to be, there could be casualties here. We keep talking about the same players, who we're looking to get out. You listed them earlier on yourself. But you could maybe get a couple of eye openers that we didn't think was coming. That could happen before this window closes.
Ulster, can I just ask you something? Watched Tavernier last night, Candias last night, and if he tried it once, he tried it 100 times. It was this daft flick he's got. He's got an amazing flick that him and Tavernier have manufactured between them, to be honest. But when he tries it with Windass and other people, it doesn't come off, and it looks absolutely rotten, right? So somewhere along the line, Tavernier's skills, not just Tavernier, but Candias and Tavernier's skills between them mean some of the moves that they make are primarily between those two players, nothing else. And it comes off. When it comes off for them, it looks absolutely brilliant. Last night looked shocking. And in some instances, absolutely shocking.
Well, the only thing I'll put on that, but that's right. But it took them a wee while to get a partnership going as well. This could be the same. It could be the same for Candias and these other players. It'll maybe take them a few games to get that struggle, because we have to remember it was just the first competitive match of the season, so it might take them, like Foxy had said earlier on in the show, a few weeks, a few games, maybe even 10 games to get everything going properly, so every player knows what everybody's doing. I think it's just because there's a few players out of positions. It's just going to take them a wee while to get that partnership going.
Right, we're going to talk about the midfield, and Bridge is barred if he mentioned the word Tavernier and Windass. Is that fair enough, Ibrox? Who's as it is? You feel it as well, Ibrox?
He's barred himself.
He's barred himself. Bridge, you're a man of experience. The boy McCrory, his enthusiasm, his endeavour, he's got a heart of a lion. He's still a raw talent. We need to watch also, like Middleton, we don't put too much pressure on the boy so we don't lose him.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. Look, he's on his own. And unfortunately for Rangers, and for particularly Rangers fans, you look at that last night and you see McCrory's on his own. There isn't anybody else making any tackles. There's only McCrory. And he's, as I said a couple of weeks ago and up to last week, you see him sometimes he's maybe half a yard just out in his tackles and he gets himself into trouble and he lunges and he causes himself either injury or causes a free kick, possibly a booking. And these things we don't want to see. But McCrory is a fabulous player, absolutely outstanding player for Rangers. What we need is somebody beside him. So when you play 3-5-2, you could actually change that to 3-2, something or else, right? So and work it up when you want. But we need somebody beside Mr. Ross McCrory because somewhere along the line he needs help in the defensive midfield area. We need to have two defensive midfield players, my opinion.
You back with us, Fox?
I am.
The young boy McCrory, he's got a heart of a lion, he's got great pace, he's a raw talent.
He's got a lot of learning to do, mate. We've got plenty of cover in the defensive midfield role. We've got the boy Koulibaly that came in. We've got Jordan Rossiter there as well. There's no way Rangers in the SPFL should be playing with two defensive midfielders. No reason for that whatsoever. It's a waste of attacking talent to have two defensive midfielders when we've got two solid centre-backs behind. Well, what we think is solid centre-backs. For me, there's no reason. Rangers at Ibrox shouldn't be playing defensive midfielders. We should be on the attack at Ibrox. And the more flair or sort of flair players we've got in the park, the better the crowd will love it. I think it's just a waste of a jersey playing two defensive midfielders. It offers you nothing in midfield.
Ulster?
No, I'd agree with Fox. Yeah, I think if you have more creative midfielders, then you're going to create more chances. I think against teams like that, there will be games we'll maybe need that. Maybe in the bigger games, the high-profile games, maybe old firm games. Maybe as we go on in Europe against better opposition, there'll be times to play that sort of formation because obviously the team you're playing is going to be a much better standard. So you're going to have to shore up your midfield and help out your defence. But teams like last night, I probably would have liked to have seen more maybe attacking flair in the midfield, and maybe that would have helped us create chances because I thought at times we just looked, especially for that 20 minutes in the second half, lost for ideas, and it took us to change it up a wee bit to get the wheels in motion again, the engine starting. But as I agree with your comment on Glenn Middleton, you know, he is a cracking player. He's come on 2 games and done some magnificent stuff. I just don't want to put too much pressure on the young fella just too early because we've seen that in the past with players. John Fleck is an example. And we've seen them, you know, sometimes get into their shell and he's now a good player down south, but at Rangers he was poor. But I think that's because of the pressure of everyone expecting you to be the saviour at such a young age.
Can I come in on that?
On you go, mate.
Defensive midfield. Look, the truth of the matter is, last night we watched it, and we watched it for easily 15 to 20 minutes. We watched Mr. McCrory absolutely on his own. On his own. Right. So last night was should be a warning for our manager and the rest of the fans that watch this game. We cannot do without someone else supporting Mr. McCrory. We cannot do without it. We're in Europe. We're trying to win games. That guy there was on his own last night. So he lunges in too much, he gets an injury. He lunges in too much the other way, he gets a booking. We cannot afford to leave him isolated. So when we're playing against European opposition, we need 2 defensive midfielders, 100% of the way, 100% of the way, in my opinion.
But I would say McCrory was part of the problem last night. What he'd done is he went that deep. He was going He was playing right next to the two centre backs, mate, and that was that was part of his problem. He particularly in that 20 minutes when we fell out the game, he was playing too deep. But he's only learning the game, and obviously it's an easy game when you're watching it.
100%. I will not disagree with you. I won't disagree with you. I'm looking at it as a Rangers fan, watching that last night, and I could see somewhere along the line, Mr. McCrory was left high and dry many, many times. Left high and dry. And he lunged in a couple of times and then eventually got himself injured to a certain extent. And I think we're very fortunate. We came away last night with a good result, a great result, 2-0. So we're going across there next week, next Tuesday, and we better have a half-decent defensive midfield. Defensive midfield. Not attacking, defensive midfield.
I think the point that Fox is going to make, that we need some creativity in the midfield. And if you fill that up with, say, McCrory and Rosser, who's going to make the chances for you?
When I look at the midfield now, all I see is we've got a surplus of attacking midfielders. Right? We've got a surplus of them. What we don't have is someone to sit behind McCrory. McCrory's a fantastic player. He's going to be one of the big stars of the future going forward, but he needs help, certainly in defensive areas, and we don't have anyone there. But what we've got is the young guy from Burnley, brilliant. We've got other guys who can fit in there, brilliant, go forward. Sorry, we didn't look anything like a good attacking team at the second half last night. Nowhere near it.
All right, so Glenn Middleton, Fox, now you've had time to reflect on his performance, mate. I know we're going to hear from the young man in a minute, but what's your thoughts, mate?
Exciting. It looks to be an exciting young talent. For a young boy, I think he's very strong on the ball, very tricky, quick. He's got the brains to get to the byline and cut balls back. A great way of producing chances for me. I think he'll get his fair share of games this year, but whether he'll become a first-team regular, we'll need to wait and see.
All right, he's a young man who he's obviously a fan, so if you don't mind going to mute, let's hear for one of our rising stars, no pun intended there, Fox, Glenn Middleton.
Glenn, such a massive night for the club, of course. What was it like for you to get your first taste of the competitive action on a night like that?
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed every moment of it. Very grateful for the opportunity I've been given. We've been working really hard in training to try and get the game plans right. I think tonight wasn't obviously perfect, like everyone's aware of that, but we've still got the win, which was the important thing.
What was the message from the manager and the coaching staff before you went on?
I think it was just to get the job done. Although we need to play well at the same time, it's at the end of the day you're wanting to get through to the next round, so it's just a case of getting ahead and then controlling the game and then trying to get as many goals as you can.
How much did you enjoy that overall experience then?
Yeah, it was amazing. Like, it's sort of a dream come true sort of thing, coming and watching games when you're younger, to then go and step out on the pitch yourself. It was pretty good.
How's this pre-season period been? Obviously you were out in Spain with the first team, you got your chance against Bury. How's this whole period been for you?
It's been quite hectic, but I've enjoyed it. I'm loving it, getting the opportunities every day to sort of just play football for the team you support, and it doesn't get much better than that.
Is this maybe ahead of where you expected to be when you came up from Norwich in January?
I think every player sets themselves targets, and I'm maybe one that I like to push myself as far as I can. So yeah, I've always wanted to get into the first team, but maybe not this soon. I didn't expect it.
In terms of the first team players, how beneficial has it been for you to learn from the guys that are in there?
Yeah, they've all been brilliant. Not even the first team players, the 20s. Ever since I came in January, the way they welcome me in the club, the staff as well, it's just made everything that bit easier for me. And then the first team boys are always giving you advice to do on and off the pitch that doesn't let you slip up at all. So yeah, really good.
And how much are you hoping now to hopefully travel over to Macedonia on Tuesday for what's sure to be a tough game, but now with the 2-goal cushion?
The job isn't done yet at all. Everyone's aware of that. So I'll be very grateful to be involved in any way, whether that's travelling or even on the bench. So yeah, I just look forward to the next week of training and hopefully go from there.
Well, Bridge, what about Ibrox? No, sorry, Ulster.
Oops,
Yeah, it was a good interview.
I was talking to myself.
Oh, go ahead, Bridgie. Go on.
No, I think you listen to the boy, and the boy's talking absolute 100% sense. Look, it was, to me, he came on and he did everything absolutely magically, let's say, last night. And somewhere along the line, we're going to have to fit this boy in. And I'm under no illusion. He's going to have to be a first-team player before long. Absolutely wonderful to watch. You should have heard the boys in the Govan, in the Copeland. They were shouting every time the ball came out, and it's particularly late on in the second half, they were shouting, "Get it down the left, he's the only one that can play football." Simple as that. Simple as that.
I think we're going to watch. The boys done well. Fox, born in Northampton, I was surprised to read earlier on the day, but represented Scotland at every age group up, apart from senior level. So he's been a boy, he's been on the radar for a while, and obviously wants to play for the club.
He's only been here about 6 months, hasn't he?
January, I think he came up, yeah.
Aye. Done very well. Good progress coming through the under 21s, mate, and then getting his debut in a European tie. It's no bad going, is it? He sounds a confident young man. I wish him all the best for the rest of his career, mate. I think he'll make an impression at Ibrox, but whether we'll see that much of him this year as Gerrard finalises his side, we'll need to wait and see. I've got a wee question for you, Ox.
Hang on, you go, mate.
See, if we weren't under pressure to stop this 9 in a row, would we have recruited differently? If Steven Gerrard was to be building his own side at this present time, do you think we would have recruited the exact same, or do you think we would have went for a more youthful look to our side?
No, I don't, mate. I think our side is quite young. When you look at the centre backs, apart from McGregor coming in, the goalkeeper, the centre backs are 21 and 25. Flanagan's reasonably young. But the boys were brought in on loan, they're definitely young. The only one that's maybe got any real experience is Arfield, and obviously we've signed Murphy, who we're not taking as a new signing, but even though that's him as part of the club, not on loan anymore. So I think Gerrard and Mark Allen would have signed who they would have signed anyway. I think he's building a squad that is built short term because of the loans. And I'm with Big Allen. I'm not a great fan of having loan players in because if they do really well for you one season, you've lost them with no money. But it's just the way we are. It's Scottish football at the moment, unfortunately. In fact, most teams take loan players even at the top level, up to a certain level, and even the Premiership in England. So, no, I think Gerrard would have signed, his plan would always be to win the next game and the next game and the next game, and he signed the players, he would have signed the players that he would have wanted as we are, I think, personally. Ulster?
Yeah, I can't really add too much more on what you've said there, Ox. I would agree with you. I think these are the players he would have went for in any case. With the budget he has in place, I think these are players he's obviously been watching, maybe even before getting the job at Rangers. I'd say he's been looking at different players I know he was only youth level at Liverpool, but he had plenty of options there to go to different clubs. And he was obviously in the back of his head that he was going to take one of them eventually. And I would say he'd be looking at these players, and that's why we've been so quick to get some of them, to be honest. I think he's went for the players he would have went for in any either case.
Bridgeman?
Yeah, it's difficult to see. Take young Middleton, for instance. Where on earth are you going to get someone his pace and his ability, and then say, no, you're not going to play him? Very difficult to imagine. So when you get that and that coming through, it's absolutely superb. You want to hear the boys on the Copeland Beer talking about him. Every single time the ball came down, get it out left, there he's waiting for it, the boy's waiting for it, and so on and so forth. And yes, indeed, he never let anybody down. So, as we go forward, this boy here has got #1 status all over him. Absolutely #1. Fantastic player.
You know, hear Foxy's question, bro.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
Fox, if you don't mind, he must have been on mute.
No, I was just. I think he's answered.
He was asking if Gerrard's signings would have been different.
If Gerrard, do apologise. Actually, I've never thought of that too much, to be honest. No, I don't think Gerrard's signings would have been much different than they are at the moment. I think Gerrard signed, shall we say, the best defence that we've had for a long number of years, right? A long number of years. So, and the young boy Middleton coming in as part of that, wonderful to watch. Great to see, great to feel as a Rangers fan sitting up there in the Copeland rear and wondering what's going to happen. Here we are. We'll get two centre backs that can actually win the ball and actually defend and actually pick the ball up and play football with it. Yes, great. And bypass the midfield because you're going into young Middleton. He should have been playing right for the off. For me, he should have been playing right for the off. Absolutely brilliant player. Brilliant.
But on the boy Middleton, mate, his test will come when other sides recognise he's a threat. When they start putting two players on him. That's when we'll see how good Middleton is.
Did it last night?
At the moment, but he was an unknown quantity to these people, mate. You know, they gave him a lot of room when he first came on, and then they started to move to another player there to help the right back as well. And in the Scottish Premier League, mate, they will definitely target him if he starts to show really good signs in the Premier League.
Under no illusions what they'll do as to Rangers players. Under no illusions. And that's including the league that we're in. They will target whomever they want to target. And young Middleton is a fantastic player, played really well at European level. I'm not trying to bullshit the boy. He played absolutely brilliantly last night. So he's at European level, he's playing really well. And okay, it's only a 10-15 minute spell, but somewhere along the line, we are going to play that boy 100% of the time. He's going to be a number one.
I hope so if he improves with team, but I think he'll learn and learn and learn. I think he'll be on the bench a lot personally, and we'll get cameos and we'll see where it takes us. You know, because I think Murphy will be the guy in possession of that left-hand side spot. So people have got different thoughts on Murphy, I don't know, but at the moment he's a man in possession. Scored again last night. I think we'll get at least 15 goals over the whole season for Jamie Murphy. And that's going to be handy. Now, that's without assists. So whether Glenn will get in front of that just yet, I don't know. Ulster?
Well, yeah, it's hard to say at the minute. The only thing with Murphy is obviously being a right-footed player. He's not great on his left. I know he ended up scoring. I think he scored with his left yesterday. Last night, should I say. But I think you see him turning in all the time. He's always trying to get back into his right foot. And sometimes that's when he has to stop, you know, and then the defender is stopping, trying to jockey, and then he turns in the inside and tries to put the ball in with his right foot, or else tries to pass it and goes into lock and play. Whether Middleton seemed to like that he was more different. He was going right towards the ring, right down to the line and smashing the ball in, which is just a different type of play. But what you might see going into the season, will maybe use Murphy, as you say, start him. And then maybe, keep giving maybe Middleton the last 30 minutes to have a different option to sort of...
But it may be Murphy on the right and the boy getting a run out on the left, you know?
That could happen. You know, I think he has shown what he's shown so far in about the 30 minutes he's played over the two games, that he's a very, very competent player. You can understand why he's been picked at all levels for Scotland. Yeah, he's definitely got a lot about him. And if he keeps going the way he's going, there's no doubt about it, he'll be knocking at that door for that position if he keeps playing like he is.
Can I come in there? Based on what I saw and what obviously the guys running about me from the Copeland rear, we were watching a young lad absolutely sparkling last night. And there was a time when, as far as I'm concerned, he should have got a penalty before we got the penalty. Yeah? But we got the penalty, and to me, we didn't get it from something that the young Middleton did, but he should have got a penalty there. So I think it evened itself out. So we got the penalty, and we all thought, a lot of guys running about me, thought that it was a very dodgy penalty decision, but we got it. But we thought we should have got it a couple of times before it, and Middleton should have got a penalty as well. So it evened itself out. My opinion.
I don't know if the middle one, the boy.
100%, 100%. He was the jersey was pulled. 100%, jersey was pulled. Definitely penalty. And it's the same way Morelos loses it. He loses penalty. He loses good claims because he whatever he does with the referee.
The manager even mentioned that, Bridge.
Yeah.
The manager mentioned that he can see why he never got it.
Yeah, absolutely.
The penalty kick, Fox, what was your views on it?
It was a tough call for the referee, mate. It was 50-50 for me who got to the ball first. But we got the break of getting it, so I was quite happy with that. I think we were denied when the ball had a boy, what was his name? Ajaria went through. He definitely get clipped, mate. And I've seen name given. So just some go for you and some don't, do they?
What did you make of his performance, mate, when he came on?
Well, honestly, we're all talking about who's going to be the front three in behind Morelos at the moment. He's going to play. He was on the verge of the Liverpool first team, mate. And he's going to, I think we've guaranteed that he's going to play up here. So I think he's going to get a starting berth. He's been given the number 10 shirt, mate, which for me means attacking midfielder. And I think he's going to fill that role. Don't know how good he's going to be, but he looked to be quite sharp and two-feeted. So we'll see if he's creative as well.
He wanted the ball. He constantly wanted the ball. I mean, obviously, and then he done a couple of shimmies after a few minutes when he was on. But it's hard to judge anybody in that last night.
He had good movement as well when he came on. He was moving all over the park. He was up, he joined in up front. He cruised about in the middle of the park. And I don't think he gave the ball away when he was on the park.
A bigger ball than I thought. On you go.
Just to say, if ask anybody in the lobby, who they would rather have in their team, and I'm not being funny when I say this, and now I used to be a big fan of Mr. Windus. If you ask is Mr. Windus or the new boy from Liverpool, would you rather have him in your team? I bet you ain't like to go for the boy for Liverpool. And a Gerio or a Giero, whatever his name is, that's the boy I'm talking about. But he played outstandingly. Him and young Middleton, brilliant.
I think he was outstanding. I thought that he was reasonable when he came on, and again, somebody that'll need a couple of games to settle into the Rangers first team. I like some loans like him, mate. We need to get loans in that are ready to play. If they're too young, they're not going to get into our first team. A bit like happened across the road last year. They take people in loan and don't get them. I'd rather see us in the loan system getting players that are on the maybe in the 25 to 30, just the outside of some of these first teams, mate. Maybe we do it and no getting games. And that's the ones you want to take in loan for a season, you know. Get them back into the way they were playing. There is one at Liverpool, isn't there, at the moment, who's not managed to get games. I forgot his name now. Big striker.
Danny Ings.
I'm not saying we'll get Danny Ings, but I'm saying it's players like that are just outside the first team reckoning. That's the players we should be going. Experienced pros, mate, that are just no managing to get into the first team for their own club, you know.
I mean, I thought the boys showed glimpses last night, but I'm still, I'll hedge my bets on them. Bridgeman, I don't know. I think we're going to watch if we don't. What was he on? 15 minutes or something? 20 minutes? Yep. You know, I think we'll see how it goes. I mean, he was a bigger boy than I thought, Ulster. Quite tall and gangly.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, to be honest, as well. Yeah, because I've seen obviously pictures of him and stuff, but he looks so commanding, so big, as you say, mate. Very strong as well. I wasn't expecting that. He done some nice stuff, you know. But as you say yourself, you don't want to say too much about the loans because we've seen loans in the past, you know, starting off so brightly and and fading off a wee bit. But what I did like about that guy, Ajari, is it? I think that's it, something like that. Anyway, I like the way you seen that he's got the experience. He's played at a high level, because it is a high level down there, and even playing for Liverpool Youth, because there's a lot of good players at that and down south at that level. And he sort of stepped back at times. He made the space for himself, and then obviously once he gets those big legs going, and you see them doing a few of those wee moves, he looks like a competent enough player. But we just got to wait and see, mate. Hopefully.
Also, can I ask you a question on this? If you had been sitting where I was sitting up in the Copeland rear and listening to what the guys are saying as well, really and truly, that boy was absolutely superb. He stopped the ball. He brought the ball towards himself. He brought people into the game. I thought he was absolutely magnificent. I thought between him and young Middleton, superb. Youngsters coming into the team, please let them in. Let them in now. Mr. Gerrard, please.
I think he done okay, Bridge. I don't know if he was superb, mate. He'd one run.
I thought he was superb. Only my opinion, watching it from where I was watching it in the second half, because remember, we're trying to go forward. We're trying to come forward. And we'd watched, from the halfway line, somewhere of 40 minutes or 35 minutes, and they just weren't coming forward. And these two boys come in and just lit the place up. Mm-hmm. Lit the place up.
There's two players we've no mentioned much. Obviously, Ryan Jack, who came on with a cameo, he came on for Candace, and we sort of moved the system a bit. The boy Arfield last night, I think he was carrying a knock for the second half. I don't know if anybody else thought that. Fox?
Yeah.
I think he'll be a big player for us this season, and I did think he picked up an injury in the game, obviously, when he came off. But he's a real box-to-box midfielder. I like Arfield. I think he'll be a big player for us this year.
I'll agree with that.
He works hard. I think some of the problem we've got, him and McCrory look the same when they run for the ball, but it's the same colour of blonde hair also.
Yeah, sometimes. I was victim of that one as well, sometimes. Definitely. The blonde hair. But Ardfield, I agree with you, because I think in that 20-minute spell when things just weren't going right for us, I think that might have been when Ardfield's obviously got a wee knock at some point in that, and obviously he's maybe tried to play on, thinking give me a couple of minutes, it'll maybe wear off, and obviously it hasn't. But once we made the change, I thought that's when we started again. So I'll give him a bit of a bye ball for that, because I think he shows some glimpses of class. And as for Ryan Jack, I haven't really got much to say on Ryan Jack, because he didn't have the most magnificent game, but he's been out for so long, and it'll maybe take him 5, 6 or 7 games, still to get to where he can be, or where he ended up last season before he got his injury. So I'll give him a bye ball as well on that one.
I think Ryan Jack could be an important member of the squad because I think he can do a few roles on you go, Bridge.
I was just going to say, Ryan Jack, to me, when he gets fit, of course, obviously we understand he's a bit of a bad injury. When he gets fit, I think he's going to be outstanding. And for me, Mr. Ross McCrory and Ryan Jack would be my two defensive midfielders, 100% of the way, 100%. And let the rest of them do what they need to do, whatever formation we want. So for me, it would be 3-5-2, but two of them, and out of the 5 would be our sitting midfielders, would be Ryan Jack and Ross McCrory. And let's anybody try to come through us, and away we go. Absolutely fabulous for me. Absolutely fabulous.
But how do we score goals with the two, mate?
Not worried about them two at all. They can do what they need to do. What we need is, shall we say, the boy Arfield to be an attacking midfielder, and others to be attacking midfielders along with that. Somewhere along the line, we need to develop or have 2 attacking midfielders along with the rest of them. To me, it's as simple as that. We need attacking midfielders that can make the game and make the attack happen. It needs to happen. And you've got young Morelos now, who should be the best centre forward, the best scoring centre forward in the league at the moment. He should be, because he's got some chances he gets. Unbelievable. Tavernier pushing the ball in. Incredible chances we make. Don't seem to do it. We don't seem to put them away.
All right. before we go, I asked you to score the performance, but I'd also ask you, what did you think of the All Blue kit? So, score the performance out of 10, and what did you think of the All Blue kit? Fox?
Performance, all-round team performance, I would say, was a 7, because we'd got the result we needed, scored 2 goals, conceded none. That'll do for me, and I liked the kit.
Big Ulster.
Yeah, I'd probably go for a 7 as well. I think I think some of us were maybe underwhelmed because of Stephen Gerrard's first game. We were expecting to blitz that team, but yeah, like Foxy, we got the job done. Clean sheet, going away for 2-0 to the second leg. I think that's pretty good, to be honest, given the team's first really competitive game together. So a 7. And the all blue kit, I think that's a European thing, to be honest. I think that's something we have to do. We've done that a few times, haven't we? All blue kit. I don't know if it's to do with the shorts or whatever restrictions you have that you have to put an all blue kit in if it clashes anyway with the opposition team. But I liked it, something different. But nothing beats the white shorts and the red and black socks for me.
Bridgman? Oh, we see me a lost bridge. Anyway, I like the blue kit. I thought the kit, the all Hummel stuff's growing on me, all stuff. And I think if I was to score the performance, I would score it as a 5.5, mate. A 5.5. And the reason I've took the 1.5 off for you is because of that 20-minute spell. Bridge, last word to your good self.
I think that preferably I would have the sort of blue and white and red and black red and black socks, should I say? But what can I say? Can I just say this? I'm not being funny when I say this. To all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly the Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one of us, I'm so happy. 3 points and a European tie, fantastic. No goals against. Keep it going for the Rangers. Just keep it going.
I don't know we get 3 points for it. Anyway, can I thank Bridge and Fox for the debate? Thank Ulster and Ibrox Loyal for joining us. And also the one and only Skipper who always entertains. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back at 9 o'clock Monday night. Looking forward to the second leg of our European tie. Take it away, Fox.